guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well and enjoying your weekend. It's pretty cloudy here over in Ontario, Canada, and yeah, it's cozy. It feels cozy. I love the fall. I still got my pumpkins out on my porch and my neighbors already have their Christmas lights up. So I'm like, oh, I gotta get on that. So I'll probably get some Christmas lights going by the end of the month. So yeah, so there's a lot of good energy in the air for twin flames right now. I myself have gone through like a lot of heavy energy within the last few months, but I'm feeling that that's lifting, and I think that twin flames are mirroring each other. Many masculines are going through a lot of changes where they're just freeing up their energy, cutting off a lot of people. It's more than just cutting off people, it's just moving forward with their lives, and that's happening because they're no longer resonating with like social circles or karmic partners and situations. I know we've been talking about that a lot on the journey, but there's a different feel to it, and I think that that's because this year is coming towards an end, and I think naturally that tends to come up in our lives anyway. Many of you around this time will feel a push in that direction of like the new year coming through, what it is you want to do differently. And a lot of masculines are going through that. And I think that they are moving towards their feminines. A lot of them are hopping on planes. A lot of them are contemplating like a big move towards what it is they want. And even if it's moving like slowly for them, at this time, like patience is the name of the game for the divine masculines. So there's like a really calm energy when it comes to thinking about the twin flame journey, their divine feminines. I think before, a lot of the heaviness too was coming from the masculines running, okay, feeling very tired, feeling really exhausted from thinking about their divine feminines a lot, so much to the point where it became really obsessive. And then it kind of just drains you, right? And so it repels you even further away from the twin flame journey, but it's like a double-edged sword because you still just can't get this person out of your mind. So I feel like that's changing and that's shifting for the divine masculine. So many of the divine feminines are now getting into a place of feeling very energetic about their connection. Like you guys are no longer feeling that resentment or that shift or that like the shift away from each other. It's like you guys are coming back closer together, at least energetically. Many of you can feel that. So what it'll feel like is just a feeling in the air. Like you feel like something good. When you think of your twin, you feel like something good is happening between you two. Like the mood is just right. Many of you are just, again, more energetic, more creative, just seeing life differently. I think in the past few months, a lot of us have felt like we just didn't know what we were doing, whether or not this was the right thing. I think many of us got caught up in like karmic cycles, trying to end those off. And it's always a decision of like walking away versus staying the course. Okay. And that's what I see. It's like path A or path B, but no matter which way they go, they just always bump into each other, or energetically, they always seem to come back or want to come back. So I have the Goddess deck here because I just wanted to give you guys a few messages about what the masculine thinks of you at this time. I have 3 cards, and the reason I held off on pulling them was because I think I'm actually going to do like group 1, group 2, group 3, and deliver 3 different types of messages for the collective, because I know not all of you are on the same path, or not all of you have circumstances where, let's say your divine masculine's in a karmic situation, you might be the one in the karmic situation. But either way, let's just go ahead and hear a little bit about what this masculine is thinking in terms of moving towards you, or what may be happening in your life right now, divine feminine. And you may not even realize that, you're going through these things and your masculine is watching you and observing you from afar. And another thing too, sorry guys, before I pull the cards here, is that you guys mirror each other in terms of what it is you do in your own personal journeys that make you guys come back together in this way. And I think I've shared a lot about this on Patreon recently, but a lot of masculines and divine feminines are moving forward. So let's say you guys have had karmic cycles and you guys have separated from your partner, or you've broken up or divorced, like whatever the case is. there has been times on your journey where it's felt really dark and you didn't know if you made a mistake in your previous relationship by leaving it or by parting ways. A lot of you have experienced cycles where you end up breaking up with your karmic partners and going back, and it's caused a lot of turmoil on your twin flame journey because you guys feel that heartbreak, you feel the betrayal, the abandonment, the confusion, right? Like, oh my goodness, I thought that we were moving in this direction, and now all of a sudden you guys are back with those same people that, eventually what I've learned to see, and especially in my own experience being married and having my twin flame come into my life, I see like the challenges of moving back and forth between, karmic cycles and wondering if you're doing the right thing and having to follow your intuition and your heart. But this time around, many of you are very certain and you're very sure that you need to put those things to an end. And I feel like a lot of you are deciding, I'm not going to move backwards. I'm going to keep moving forward, even if it means there's a possibility that this whole twin flame thing is not going to work out the way I had anticipated, or it's not meant to be, a traditional, okay, now that I'm out of this relationship, now we move into our relationship. I think many of you are starting to see that it's like, okay, that is not the case, and I may have to face, the path alone for a while, right, on your own. And a lot of you are being opened up to many experiences. A lot of you are like tippy-toeing with like, should I date? Should I not date? And I've been there too. And I think I might have mentioned this in a reading or whatever previously on the channel. But it's like I've been in that place where it's like, okay, I'm single. I've been single for a while, celibate for a while. And you do get those days where you just want to see what it's like to date. And you might say, okay, let me like check out this dating app. And I've been there where it's like I've downloaded it. And as fast as I downloaded it, it's been a huge trigger where it's like I just delete the app right off the bat because I'm like, okay, I'm clearly not ready to do that. And I think a lot of us struggle because it's like, oh my God, is this okay? Like, I've been alone this long. Do I like it? Do I enjoy it? And I think that's what you guys have to ask yourselves. And if you know that you're not ready, it means that you are learning to appreciate solitude and to be independent and to really feel what it's like to feel whole again before you enter another relationship. And I think in the meanwhile, like, that solitude gives you an opportunity to do a lot of things that you would normally depend on a partner to do, right? Especially like with the Divine Feminine Collective, I feel like, there's still those old paradigms that exist where, once you are married to someone, it's like they take on these roles and you take on these roles. And, when you are living on your own, you kind of have to do everything, especially if you have kids and then you're living alone. You really see what it's like to have to play both roles, take out the trash and get the car fixed and do house repairs and cook dinner and, vice versa if you're in the masculine perspective. And don't get me wrong, not everyone's like this. I mean, there are definitely women out there who know how to do these things and do them very well. And there are men out there who have no problem cooking up a storm and they're used to that because that's how they grew up. But then there's also the huge majority who are in these roles where they're just conditioned to kind of take on one side and roll with that. And the minute they're faced with something like divorce or separation or breaking up, it's really scary to feel like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to make it out there on my own. But, resilience and adversity makes you learn and it helps you. So that is why a lot of you out there are in these situations with your twin where it's initiating these types of lessons for you. But face it with confidence and conviction and know that, any challenges is only going to make you guys stronger. Okay. So sorry guys. I'm so sorry to go off for like 10 minutes before the reading, but yeah, it's just messages that are wanting to come out, So the first card, okay, so I'm going to call this group 1, group 2, and group 3, and we're going to deliver 3 different messages for a variety of you that may be on different paths on your journey, but nonetheless, the lessons are similar. Okay, so the first group is the goddess Green Tara, and this is start delegating. Okay, so ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything all by yourself. Okay, so these are divine feminines who, when your masculine sees you, he sees you experiencing a lot of abundance in your lifetime. And I think that when you met him, you surrendered a lot. You started understanding what it was like to be in your feminine energy. And I feel like asking is a form of receiving. And so this is a message from your divine masculine to let you guys know that you are not alone. Like, they are always there with you. Many of you receive channeling or telepathy or just overall guidance, and sometimes you can sense that it's from your divine masculine, and he wants you to know that, at this time, like, when he looks at you, he admires everything that you're doing, but he sees you working really, really hard at times, divine feminine, especially, like, again, many of you are on your own and you're moms or you're young students or you're, women who have to, again, walk this path alone for a while, and you're bumping into a lot of challenges where you're tempted to look in every direction for someone to help, and the universe is saying, hey, you've got this. Okay, so I just want to remind you guys that there is spiritual help out there. You guys are able to connect in meditation with your counterpart and, connect to their energy in a sense where they will be there to support you. I can't tell you the amount of times that my masculine has come through in dreams, like times where I would be going through so much and I would like miss him, like, and this is when we didn't communicate or anything like this. This is when I just thought he was my twin flame, or I was I came across the term twin flames and I'm like, oh my God, this has got to be it. Like, this has got to be like the experience that I'm having here. And I didn't know what to do. It's like I tried having conversations with people in my life to just express how I felt. And I don't think that anyone ever really understood. Maybe like my mom and my sister. But even then, that was just because I was like, okay, you guys are my mom and my sister. You have to be supportive. You have to say the things that you're saying. They try to understand as best as they could, but it's different when you talk to someone who's actually on a twin flame journey. And you talk about the complications and the dreams and the signs, and someone who's on the journey is like, oh yeah, I totally feel you. But someone who's never experienced the synchronicity and the signs and the songs that come through and like, some of the weirdest stuff that we experience on this journey, it's really hard to explain it, right? And I think it was really cool to find the twin flame community, because in the comment section too of certain videos when I just started my journey years and years and years ago, just to be in the comment section with people who were like speaking like my life, their situation was exactly what was happening with my situation. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not the only one. So I just want you guys to know, like, you're supported. Ask for help if there's no one out there who understands what it is you're going through. You don't have to need validation from anyone else. If you don't have anyone that you can reach out to source, like whoever you guys resonate with as like God. If you don't believe in that aspect, then you can always reach out to just the universe. Like, there is someone listening, and a lot of the times it's really hard to go to this place of asking for help, because maybe you've been taught not to, but it's there and it's available, and it's a part of learning to be humble and having humility is to ask for help, to know that we can't do everything by ourselves, nor should we have to, right? You guys are always supported and you're always loved. And for those of you who do from time to time tend to feel really alone on this journey, or you feel like giving up, or you feel like, what the hell am I doing with myself? Just ask for help, ask for clarity, and you will be amazed at the type of help that is delivered energetically and spiritually. It could just be, having a bad day and all of a sudden, you get beautiful surprises along the way from the universe. Trust me on that. I have, tons of stories I could tell you guys about what happened when I started praying more and asking for help and talking to myself in the form of like talking to my angels and my spirit guides a lot, and asking like, for the answers to certain questions. And I would be like, show me a dream. Like, may I have a dream about this if I'm on the right path? And the more I started doing that, and I think that this will happen to a lot of you as well, even your divine masculine or your divine feminine, if you're listening in, you guys will be surprised at like just reaching out to them and letting them know, hey, I really, really miss you right now. Just show me some kind of sign you're okay. we don't always have to feel frazzled or discombobulated in the physical and reach out to our counterparts and cause all these conflicts. You guys can literally just close your eyes and communicate with them heart to heart, and that's going to prove more to you that you're on a twin flame journey than trying to reach out to them in the physical. Okay, so that's for group 1. Group 2 is Arakura, blossoming. So you're just getting started. So have patience with yourself and the process, and do not give up. Okay, and this is for a lot of you, I feel too, like, again, in the green Tara energy, many of you are wanting to, again, like, date or move forward with your life in some way. And like the part where it says do not give up, I honestly feel like that's many of you who are like, should I date? But deep down inside, you're like, I don't want anybody else other than my divine masculine. And vice versa, I don't want anybody else but my feminine. I feel like blossoming is like maturing in the sense, and really getting to a point where you honor yourself and you love yourself so much that you are willing to stop and actually question, like, why do I feel alone? Like, am I really alone, or do I just feel the need to have someone there to pacify that feeling? And so at times I do think that this energy is protecting you guys as well, and protecting the twin flame journey. Because again, a lot of you have gone celibate, guys. Like, I'm not even kidding. And through this energy, like, even with her wearing all the white and me saying celibate, I feel like it resonates so deeply. And I mean, I kind of see the shape of the yoni there, to be honest with you guys. But I think that this is a message for those of you to just be patient with the things that you've gotten started, since you have been patient with your counterpart on this journey, okay? A lot of you, your masculines love you deeply, is what I'm getting from this card. And I think that you guys are just getting started on this journey where you're starting to see that and you're starting to realize that. So have patience with each other, because the more you experience separation and the more you experience those moments of like purging and having these realizations about, like, where you are and what you're doing and what kind of thoughts you're keeping, what kind of company you're keeping. Each time you guys go through these cycles and these lessons come up, you blossom each time. And I feel that it's a strong message for the divine feminine to have been protecting your creative energy, because I think that a lot of you questioned, should I be with other people? And you knew intuitively, like, you saw it. It was like the high priestess energy, right? Like, wait a second, I can't even bring myself to do that, because I know exactly what type of energy I would be in if I were to make that move. Right now, I have to honor what it is I am feeling on the inside, which is, my heart and my mind and my soul and just everything in me. I want to give it to this person, and I'm willing to stay the course and be patient. And I think too, like, the pressure is of, like, society, like many of us being scared to be alone, or feeling scared to be single, or being scared to be, mothers without our children's father there. It's like they're no longer our husband, or we can't, walk into a crowd and be like, oh yeah, this is my husband, this is my wife. It's like, a lot of us are changing that. This is my child's mother, this is my child's father. And feeling good about yourself still, and not feeling like, oh my goodness, like I'm going to be ostracized from society or looked at in a certain way. Many of you are really blossoming and you're just getting started. And didn't I say patience was the name of the game? So have patience with yourself and the process. So, I feel like the masculines are mirroring you in this very moment. So whoever chose group 2, like, if this is your energy and you feel like, you know what, like, I've definitely been patient, and that's okay. And many of you are starting to admit to yourselves, like, you know what, like, yes, my divine counterpart is in their karmic relationship still, or they're doing whatever it is they're doing. And yes, people might think, like, you're an idiot, like, you should just move on with your life, look at what this person's doing. Many of you are starting to say, like, I don't really care what other people think, like, my truth is my truth, and I'll move forward when I'm shown that that time is here. Or, I'll do what I need to do when the time is here, because I'll get the guidance and I'll get the intuition that I need to do something different. So that's why I feel like many of you are really blossoming on this journey, and you're starting to open up your eyes and feel really good about your decisions and celebrating your autonomy. And that's amazing. And I think that again, your divine masculine is mirroring this as well. Many of them are entertaining the idea of just going celibate because they're starting to pick up on a lot of like energy, like the importance of energy. You know, many of them are waking up to seeing like people emotionally drain them when it comes to sexual energy. So yeah, a lot of you guys are really blossoming on this journey in a really nice way. And I think too, your spiritual gifts, along with the celibacy, um, it tends to deepen. And I don't know who that message is for, but yeah, like when you're celibate, you're just more focused and more creative, and it's just an energetic thing. Like I feel like when we're intimate with other people, we exchange so much, and sometimes it's really hard to hear yourself sometimes. So yeah, I don't know who that's for, but you guys might want to just look up a little bit on that topic. But yeah, and the third, for group number 3, we've got Peely, Divine Passion. Okay, so be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? Okay, so this group 3 here is for those divine feminines where it's like your masculine understands that he is in love with you. Like that's his truth. That's where his heart is. And he's watching you at this time, and he's always watched you, and he will forever watch you. I think that it's the same with you, Divine Feminine. You guys have a very passionate connection. Both of you equally obsess over each other, will stalk each other's social media without realizing that you both are maybe doing it at the same time. Like whatever tendencies you have when it comes to this passion with each other, it's the same. And I think that is what is causing a lot of disruptions in your life, especially if you guys are both in karmic situations or one is in a karmic situation. The passion that you both feel for one another is your truth. And it doesn't matter how many cycles you guys go through or try to run from this connection or from each other, or you try to deny that it doesn't exist. Something that's always going to remind you of your twin flame is this sexual chemistry between you guys, this passion, this longing to want to be physical with each other. At times, I think that it's been really painful for you guys. It's like a volcano wanting to erupt. And what I mean by that is like it's really painful to know someone is here on earth with you and you long for them like sexually, physically, emotionally, and you can't be with them. And the kind of icing on the cake is that you know that you actually can, but it's going to take some work, you know? And I think that that's the being honest with yourself, is that everything takes work in life. And that includes relationships. It includes risking your heart, getting your heart broken, getting it trampled on. Many of us have been through a lot of towers, a lot of dark moments on this journey, and that's what it's about. You know, that's what makes it feel so good and feel so bad. And when you have the light and the dark, you gain balance. You know, we have to have the heartbreak. And how would we know what true passion feels like if we didn't have our hearts broken? Like, how would we know what good love feels like if we didn't experience moments of like, terrible times with past partners and finally meeting that one person that makes you tick? And it's like, man, like, this is what I want. You know, a lot of the times bad experiences happen to us to teach us exactly what we don't want. And that's valuable. That's really, really valuable. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I hope I didn't go off too much in the beginning there. But I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next reading. All right? All right. Bye, guys.